Hi everyone, we are here at the Expert Corner in Baku at COP29 at the World Bank Pavilion. It's my pleasure and honor to be here today with a very special person. I'm here with Maitrey Bordia Das. She's the Director for Trust Funds and Partner Relations at the World Bank. So we are here and we will have this conversation. We will exchange a few questions. So I have prepared a first question for you related to your job. So my first question for you is how are you involved in climate finance from the development finance vice presidency point of view?
Thank you so much, Aurora. Lovely to be here and lovely to be in conversation with you. Development finance, I think, as the name suggests, is actually at the heart of what the World Bank does. We are a development finance institution, and within our vice presidency, we have the International Development Association, as well as IBRD, which is the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which are the large concessional but large parts of what the World Bank does in terms of the way that it helps with financing of our client countries. But there's another part to it. And the other part of it is mainly grant resources. And these come in two ways. They come either through what we call trust funds, or they come as vertical funds. Okay, so vertical funds we call in the bank we call them financial intermediary funds. These vertical funds, there are 28 of them, and both trust funds and vertical funds are very highly important sources of highly concessional financing for climate. And let me give you an idea of that. In terms of the trust funds, we have, over the last 5 years, there has been about 3.4 $3.5 billion for climate action from the trust fund side. And specifically, as far as carbon finance is concerned, we have been rapidly increasing the disbursements that go from trust funds for carbon finance to the tune of about 150, 160 million now.
Wow, this is great to know, and especially that there is this whole amount of money going to climate finance. And also, it's great to be here for me today with you because I'm actually part of the Max Tabiso Atkins Climate Ambassador Program, which is a program supported by the Youth to Youth group of the World Bank and by Connect for Climate through the Global Youth Climate Network. So every year there is a selection of ambassadors. So far there are more than 440 ambassadors that have been selected. And we have done a 6 months program with different experts, and we had opportunities of networking with peer climate leaders, but also with senior experts like you from the World Bank. So for me, it's a great honor to see one of you today now in person. And yeah, I think since I mentioned about this program and run by Connect for Climate and young people, I think my second question for you would be what advice would you have for young people that would like to engage on climate finance at the World Bank?
That's such a great question, Aurora. And I think the fact that young people are taking initiative and leadership in terms of climate action is probably the biggest driver of action that will take place in the world. Because it is, if I may say so, your generation and the generations after you that are really going to feel the brunt of climate change. So it is in your hands. And so, what I would say to you, not just for the World Bank, but for the world in general, is to hold us accountable. Hold the World Bank accountable, hold other development finance institutions accountable, hold the generations above you accountable.
Yes.
So, that would be my advice to you. And you're already doing that. I would just say, do more of it.
Thanks for saying this. I think sometimes we lose hope about putting so much effort and energy because sometimes we are stepping back from climate action. But it's great to hear from an expert like you that we should hold you accountable. And also, I think there are great examples around the world about youth taking action and youth leadership. And I think there are especially two initiatives that I would like to mention where really young people have shown their leadership and their action because they really bring great ideas and creativity to the table. And one of these initiatives that I like to mention is actually supported also by Connect for Climate
Yeah.
of the World Bank. It's called the Youth for Climate program, which has been supporting young people with mentorship, but also real grants opportunity so that they can really start from an idea and develop and implement their climate solution in different fields of action, such as energy, water, consumption, etc. And yeah, and this is the first one. And a second one that I would like to mention is also another program where really young people are at the center and really showing their leadership, which is also supported by Connect for Climate with the support of the Italy Minister of Environment and Energy Security. And it's called the Youth for Innovation. So this initiative really tried to make a connection between young people, the private sector, and universities, so that we can have a greener economy and also catalyze on youth ideas for a green future.
Fantastic. So, Aurora, you actually answered the question, the curiosity that I had from you, because the more I meet young people, the more I realize how much creativity they're already putting into action, how much work is already happening. I think for me, the big issue would be how can we take all these wonderful innovations and actions that you and others around others like you around the world are doing, and to be able to scale that up,
Yeah.
to be actually feed that into policy, to be able to feed that into practice. How do we do that? I think that's a question to which there could be many answers. I have a few. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to actually leave that thought with you, not only to hold us accountable, but to help us scale up the many, many wonderful initiatives that are taking place across the world.
Yes, indeed. And I think with the support of countries, of governments, and programs like the Bank that really provides spaces for youth to really grow their ideas and provide also mentorship,
Yeah.
I think that's really a great start to really capitalize on the youth power and energy for climate action.
Fantastic. Lovely being with you here.
Lovely for me. Thank you.